If you're wondering which programming laptops are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it. Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13. This machine is so light it feels like you're carrying a glorified piece of cardboard, yet it packs enough power for heavy compiling without making you wait 3 to 5 business days. The trackpad might start making weird cracking noises like it's auditioning for a horror movie, and the fans love to scream for attention the moment you open more than 2 browser tabs. Would I buy it? Maybe, but only if someone else is paying because the price tag is more offensive than a merge conflict on a Friday afternoon. Dell XPS 13 9350. The new Lunar Lake chip inside is great for staying cool while you struggle with CSS, but it has the multi-core strength of a caffeinated toddler compared to its older siblings. It looks sleek enough to make your coworkers jealous, but they have hidden the ports so well you will need a detective and a bag full of dongles just to plug in a mouse. Would I buy it? No, because I am a programmer, not a professional dongle collector who enjoys sacrificing performance for a pretty face. MSI Prestige 16 AI Evo. This beast packs a Core Ultra 9 that eats complex algorithms for breakfast, but it only has one fan, so it basically doubles as a space heater for your lap. The screen is limited to 60 Hz, which is a literal crime in 2026, and having all the ports on the back means you will be playing a game of blind reach around every time you need to charge. Would I buy it? Maybe, because the battery life is actually impressive, even if the thermal management is a complete disaster waiting to happen. Lenovo ThinkPad E16 Gen 2. This is the budget choice for the developer who spent all their money on mechanical keyboards and custom keycaps, offering a massive 16-inch screen that actually has room for your IDE and your regrets. The display is dimmer than my future, and the fans sometimes spin up aggressively while doing absolutely nothing, which is great if you enjoy the sound of a miniature jet engine while you type. Would I buy it? Yes, because you can cram 64 gigabytes of random access memory in here and actually get some work done without selling a kidney. Lenovo Yoga Pro 9i. It is basically a workstation disguised as a consumer laptop, featuring a mini LED screen that is brighter than my literal soul and perfect for spotting that one missing semicolon. However, the battery life is absolutely pathetic and will die faster than a junior dev's confidence when the power-hungry processor starts drawing over 100 watts. Would I buy it? Yes, because if you are plugged into a wall, the performance is top tier and it is much more fun than staring at a boring business laptop all day. Asus ProArt P16. This absolute unit packs a Ryzen 9 AI processor that makes compiling code feel like you're just clicking save. But the 60 Hz screen refresh rate is a total crime against humanity in 2026. It handles heavy Docker containers like a champ, while the dial pad lets you scroll through your spaghetti code with surgical precision, though the fans will definitely let your neighbors know when you're running a heavy build. Would I buy it? Maybe, because it's a productivity beast for mobile devs, but that 60 Hz screen makes me want to cry myself to sleep. Apple MacBook Air M4. This silent assassin is so thin it makes my credit card look fat, and the M4 chip shreds through Python scripts and local AI models without making a single decibel of noise. You get enough battery life to code through a literal apocalypse, but being stuck with only 2 ports means you'll be carrying a dongle graveyard in your backpack just to plug in a mouse. Would I buy it? Yes, because having a fanless machine that doesn't burn my thighs while I'm crushing React components is the ultimate developer flex. Lenovo ThinkPad T16 Gen 3. The keyboard on this thing is so legendary it feels like typing on clouds made of pure productivity. Plus the 64 gigabytes of random access memory means you can actually open more than 3 Chrome tabs without the system exploding. The integrated Intel graphics are basically a potato if you want to do any heavy rendering, and the build is about as stylish as a literal brick. Would I buy it? Yes, because it's a tank that will probably outlive me and my career, even if it looks like it belongs in a government office from 1995. Razer Blade 14. It's the only laptop on this list that looks like it could hack into the mainframe in a movie, featuring a 5000 series NVIDIA graphics card that turns your compile times into light speed. The battery life is a complete joke that will leave you hunting for an outlet faster than a desperate intern, and it gets so hot you could literally fry an egg on the chassis while you're debugging. Would I buy it? No, because I'd rather not have my lap reach 1,000 degrees just to look cool at a coffee shop. Microsoft Surface Laptop 7. The 3:2 aspect ratio gives you so much vertical space for your code that you'll finally see the bottom of those nested loops, and the Snapdragon chip is surprisingly snappy for most web development tasks. You'll hit a wall of pain the moment you try to run an old 32-bit application or a weird driver that hates ARM architecture, making you feel like a beta tester for Microsoft's midlife crisis. Would I buy it? Maybe, but only if you live entirely in the cloud and don't mind occasionally getting bullied by incompatible software. Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Gen 9. This sleek little beast packs a punch with an Intel Core Ultra processor that handles your compilation tasks faster than I can find a reason to leave my bed, though the mushy touchpad feels like clicking into a bowl of lukewarm oatmeal. It's got a vibrant organic light emitting diode display that makes your code look glorious, but the speakers are so harsh at high volumes you'll think a swarm of angry bees is trying to debug your program. Would I buy it? Maybe, because while the portability and screen are top tier for mobile dev, that soggy touchpad might actually drive me to clinical insanity. Dell Inspiron 14 Plus. This thing is the marathon runner of the group with a Snapdragon X Plus chip that keeps you coding for nearly 24 hours, though its basic gray design is about as exciting as watching a loading bar for a 3GB node modules folder. It screams through local artificial intelligence tasks with 45 trillion operations per second, but some of your legacy tools might throw a tantrum on the ARM architecture like a toddler denied a chicken nugget. Would I buy it? Yes. Specifically for the legendary battery life, so I can pretend to work at a coffee shop all day without ever hunting for a power outlet. Apple MacBook Pro M5. The M5 chip is basically a legal cheat code for developers because it compiles heavy projects with 30% more memory bandwidth, though you'll have to sell a kidney just to afford a decent amount of unified memory. It handles local large language models like a champion without making the fans sound like a jet engine taking off. But the design hasn't changed since the beginning of time, so nobody will even know you spent $3,000. Would I buy it? Yes, because being able to build a monorepo in seconds is the only thing that justifies my crippling debt to the fruit company. Asus ExpertBook B5 B5405. This professional slab is surprisingly light and can be stuffed with up to 96GB of random access memory for those of us who enjoy opening a million Chrome tabs until the computer cries for mercy. It features Intel vPro security to keep your half-baked app ideas safe from hackers, but the performance drops harder than my self-esteem when you unplug the charger and try to code on battery power. Would I buy it? No, because while the port selection is great, I can't deal with a processor that decides to take a nap the moment it loses its umbilical cord. Samsung Galaxy Book 5 Pro 360. The 16-inch AMOLED screen on this 2-in-1 is so pretty it makes my buggy code look like a masterpiece, but the keyboard is shallow enough to make my fingers feel like they're typing on a sheet of dry plywood. It ships with an S Pen for those rare moments you want to draw a diagram instead of fixing your broken logic, though the multi-threaded performance is a bit weak compared to the heavy hitters in this list. Would I buy it? No, because even with that sexy 3K resolution, a programmer with a bad keyboard is just a very expensive paperweight. Dell XPS 14 DA4260. The build quality on this thing is so premium it makes my other gear look like literal trash. But good luck coding on those capacitive touch buttons that feel like trying to play a piano made of glass. The OLED screen is a vibe for staring at your broken code for 10 hours, though the 30-watt graphics card is so weak it might actually struggle to render a Hello World terminal if you push it too hard. Would I buy it? No, because I'm not paying $3,000 to lose my physical escape key and live that dongle life just to look aesthetic in a coffee shop. Acer Swift 16 AI. This laptop has a 3000-pixel OLED display that is crispier than a fresh bag of chips, but the chassis is so flimsy I am pretty sure it would fold like a lawn chair if I typed a slightly too aggressive if statement. It claims to be an AI powerhouse, yet it only comes with 16GB of soldered memory, which is basically a hate crime for any developer trying to run more than 3 Chrome tabs and a Docker container. Would I buy it? Maybe, but only if I needed that massive screen and legendary battery life for a long-haul flight where I pretend to be productive while actually just watching movies. Acer Swift Nitro ANV15 5276NK. This budget beast is actually built like a tank and handles heavy compilation without breaking a sweat, even if the fans sound like a literal jet engine trying to take off from my mahogany desk. You get a 144Hz screen for smooth scrolling through your spaghetti code, but the 512GB storage is so tiny you will run out of space the second you install your third node modules folder. Would I buy it? Yes, because it is cheap as hell and gives me the actual ports I need to plug in my mechanical keyboard without needing a degree in engineering. Acer Nitro 5/16 SAI. This one steps up the game with 20 threads of processing power and a taller 16:10 display that lets me see more of my buggy code at once without constantly scrolling like a maniac. The graphics card is actually decent enough to test some games when your boss thinks you are compiling, but the plastic build feels a bit like a recycled yogurt container compared to the fancy Dell. Would I buy it? Yes, because having 32 gigabytes of memory and a decent cooling system means I can actually get work done without my lap becoming a literal frying pan. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the programming laptops for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.